Hey guys, welcome to Underscore Your World, where we talk to random people about random things. I'm Brandon.
I'm Eric. Um, so before we get into today's show, I do want to say just keep an eye out over the next coming weeks. We just recently hit our 100 subscriber mark, which incidentally does mean that our URL is now this. But we will be doing a 100 subscriber special episode, so stay tuned for that.
The cube test is kind of like a explanation of like a personality. Basically, just kind of feels like kind of where you're at, kind of like with family or friends, yourself, like where you stand. Basically just who you are, just at kind of at the moment, and just kind of like maybe what you need to work on. But it just kind of opens your eyes to a lot of different things that you didn't think that was there.
There are a couple variations on the cube test. The one that we'll be doing today, actually, we first saw on Teal Swan's channel. We'll be linking to the video at the end of this video, so you guys can take the test for yourself if you like. Because the test is probably about a 10 to 15 minute process, we will only have 2 guests in this episode, and each of those interviews will actually be cut in half. That way we have time to kind of explain what our thoughts on the interpretation of the tests are.
Well, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first of all, who are you? And what's your story?
I'm Jack.
My name's Hunter Rose.
Just trying to skate, to be honest.
I was born in Pasadena, California. Lived there a good chunk of my life, and then been living in Vegas since 2013.
It's like all I do all day, every day. Come out here with my friends.
I graduated from UNLV. I'm a film major. Pretty creative person. I like what y'all are doing, but particularly want to edit music videos and make music videos and whatnot.
Okay,
yeah. I'm into music and film and all that.
Just try to get better.
I just got a regular job right now, but one of my goals this year is to get back into that, type of work. So.
Right. Well, hopefully you can find something.
Yeah.
Imagine that you're in a desert. Okay, shouldn't be hard.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, what is the desert like? Like, what do you see when you look around?
Just a whole bunch of dirt, cactuses or cacti, dry shrubbery, maybe some slight hills, kind of brownish, reddish color. I don't know, not too much interesting in the desert.
Okay. How big or small would you say it is?
It's pretty vast. Can't really see much besides the desert.
Okay. How do you feel about it? Like, do you have any feelings toward the desert?
It's peaceful, but I don't know, kind of scary if it's just me in the middle of the desert.
Okay. So it's not just you, thankfully. There's a cube in this desert. All right. Where is the cube? Like in relation to you or to the surroundings?
You said a cube?
Yes.
I don't know, probably maybe like 20 feet away, maybe. That's where I'm picturing it.
Okay. And what does it look like? Like, how big is it? What's it made of?
It's pretty big, probably maybe like the size of a small house. I don't know. In my head, it's like, I don't know what kind of material it is. It's solid. It's not like jiggly or anything, but it looks like Jello, but it's not. I don't know.
Okay, so it's kind of a translucent.
Yeah.
What color is it?
I'm picturing like a blue purple kind of color.
Okay. And so how do you feel about it? Do you have any feelings toward the cube?
How I feel about it. I mean, I guess I'm not sure why it's there, but it seems peaceful. Really.
Okay. Is there anything inside the cube since you can see?
No, I don't see anything. I'm not picturing anything inside the cube. It's just the translucent kind of material is there.
Okay. So there's also a ladder in this desert. is the ladder in relation to yourself and the cube?
I'm picturing the ladder. I'm picturing what's it called? Not like the ladder that like leans to get something, but it's like a triangle ladder.
Like
Just
the
kind of,
A-frame?
yeah, A-frame. Like right, kind of like right alongside the cube.
Okay. So describe the ladder. Like, what color is it? What's it made of?
It's silver, but it's orange on the sides. It looks like it's made of metal of some sort.
And so there's a horse.
Horse.
What is the distance between the cube and the horse?
I feel like the horse is pretty close to me. Like, it could be like in front of me. And the cube, where I said it's like 100 yards out.
What is the color of the horse?
It's brown.
It's brown?
Yeah.
And what is the horse doing?
It's just standing there watching me.
And what impressions does it give you?
It's very out of place too. Don't feel like it's kind of looking for something, but I don't know if I'm what it's looking for or what it's attracted to, or I don't know. It just don't feel like it should be there.
Okay. And is it tied?
No, it's not. It's just roaming around.
Is there a saddle on it?
There isn't.
Okay. And so there's a storm.
Okay.
What is the distance between the storm and the cube?
It's hard to say. It could be like the storm is coming straight for the cube, but at the same time it's very far away. And it's going to take some time to get there. But you know it's coming.
Is it a big storm or a small storm?
Big storm.
Big storm.
Yeah.
So is it passing by or staying?
I feel like it's coming. I feel like I don't know. It's just it's on its way.
And how do you feel about the storm?
I don't know, maybe a little upset. Kinda it's just gonna make it rain. But will have some benefits because it is a desert. Doesn't get very much water.
Okay. So there's a flower.
Okay.
How many flowers are there?
There's one.
Where is the flower, especially in relation to the cube?
I feel like the flower's close to me, like maybe beneath me or behind me. The cube, I don't know, I just feel like the cube is its own thing. It's not very, like, not really doing much. It's just in its own place. And the
Right.
flower is just by me.
And how hardy or fragile do they seem to you?
The cube and the flower.
Just the flower in general.
The flower is like a little pink flower. It's just, it's not very strong. I guess it's like just a little flower.
So we cut each interview in half just to save some time because it would have been like over 30 minutes. So, to save you guys some little time, we're also going to have a brief description summary of like each person.
We're going to go ahead and give kind of our personal interpretations of what we think that their visualizations may mean. It is important to note that a lot of this is just personal interpretation. Ultimately, it's up to the individual who's taking the test to determine what they believe each thing means. Just as a quick example, if I have a blue cube, right, I may think that blue is a color that represents calm and serenity, whereas somebody else may think that blue represents sadness. So it's kind of up to the person who is taking the test to determine what their visualization means. But we're going to give it a shot anyway.
So the desert represents their view of the world. You could do the compare and contrast of like an empty desert where they the view of the world is like empty to them.
So then the cube is meant to represent how you view yourself in the world. Um, so, for example, if you see a tiny cube in this vast desert, then you feel maybe like a small, insignificant part of the world.
So the ladder represents like how strong their goals are, depending on like the type of ladder.
So, obviously, the storm is meant to represent possible problems or obstacles.
So the horse represents a relationship that is most important in your life. It could be someone that's close. It could be family members.
So, and then for the purposes of this interpretation, the flower is meant to represent your children. So the number of flowers that you see is either the number of children that you have or that you want one day. So Jack described his desert being very similar to what he grew up in here in Vegas, which is what we've got around us now. Rocks everywhere, little bushes and cactuses everywhere. Nothing really too exciting or interesting, which seems to me like, I mean, that's pretty straightforward, right? Like he views the world as being kind of boring. Like there's nothing exciting or interesting out there, right?
So with Hunter's Desert, it's peaceful, and she says it's a little scary. I'm glad that she said that it's peaceful. That seems like the world is kind of like it's a great place that it's peaceful maybe around her. Um, as far as a little scary, maybe there's a lot. There's too much. Um, I don't know if she's seen a lot of the world or hasn't experienced a lot of the world, but it seems like that in where she's at is comfortable, but going out of her comfort zone, like going out to like the other parts of the world, she's kind of a little timid and a little scared by that.
So Jack described his cube as being relatively small, about the size of a basketball, and a solid, smooth, like sleek black color. And he said that it was about 100 yards away and very much emphasized that it felt out of place. If you interpret that as representing yourself in the world, then obviously that means that he feels kind of out of place in the world. He doesn't feel very close to himself, given the distance of the cube from himself. Um, and the black solid color, I mean, personally, I associate that kind of appearance with like a stealth bomber. Honestly, that black sleek color. So maybe it's symbolizing that he feels like he wants to stay hidden, or that he is hidden from the world, like nobody's seeing him.
The cube size is like a size of a small house. It is solid but translucent, so we can see through it, right? Okay, yeah, you can see right through it. But it's purple. The purple tends to lead to represent loyalty or royalties or something unique about herself. Maybe she likes, to live the high life with the classy, fancy, rich, or she just like thinks that she's unique or something special about herself. She's a unique person in herself.
So Jack described his ladder as lying on the ground, flat on the ground, somewhere around 40 yards away from the cube. He says that it's solid metal, like a silver color. He said that the ladder felt just as out of place as the cube did, and that he really didn't have much interest in it. With the ladders representing goals, right? To me, that means that maybe he has some solid goals, but he doesn't feel like it's something that's achievable, so he's kind of pushing them to the side. Or maybe there are solid goals that have been assigned to him, perhaps by parents or family or friends or what have you, that are achievable, but he just has no interest in them. They're not his personal goals.
We're gonna talk about the ladder. Her ladder is an A-frame where it's like a triangle shaped ladder, um, which is orange and silver. So with the ladder being an A-frame, you think of like a triangle, more of like support. Um, Looks like extra support on her goals, but also being really close, like she's maybe about to accomplish it, or these goals are really important. Like you got all this extra support, you got everything you need. Just basically you're there, you're almost there, but it's a goal. Like she's about to accomplish it.
So Jack's horse is actually interesting. He described his horse as being right next to him, right? It seemed like it was interested in him, but he said that he wasn't sure if he was what the horse was looking for, or if he was what the horse was attracted to. Given that the horse represents your most important relationship, there's a really good chance that that means that somebody, right, who's important to Jack is interested in him, wants to be near him, is near him, is close to him in his everyday life. But for whatever reason, he has that doubt, he has that insecurity as to whether they actually feel the same way that he does.
So in Hunter's horse was black, but it was behind her, staring at her out of curiosity. Like, what's going on? Alone was the horse, but it's not feeling lonely. But at the same point, it's behind her. She knows that she can be a great person, but this lover is going to be there to support her and not being there next to her, but watching over as she takes off as her own person.
So Jack described his storm as being relatively large, but far off in the distance. It seemed like it was headed this way. He said it was a little upsetting, but that there was some positive to it, in that it would bring some rain and some life to the desert. Which seems to me that he feels like he's got a lot of struggles in his life, especially ones that are coming right toward him, and that while he recognizes that that's not a good thing, to have problems and to have struggles and obstacles, that there is a good element to it, in that it does bring something necessary, right? As most challenges and problems do. So that's actually kind of a pretty healthy way of looking at it.
So Hunter's storm is small. It was like basically a few little gray clouds that's in the back. More like sandstorm kind of thing, but wasn't that violent. It just seems kind of like whirly in the back. But it seems like it might be coming this way, but it's very stationary. So it's kind of like there, but it might be heading this way, but it's going to take some time. I think, like, in her point of view is like the goals and obstacles and everything that's coming together doesn't seem very overwhelming. I think she's more of a clear-headed person and not very worried about the smaller things. But there is small things that can get in the way, but can push past that, as far as like a little twist of a piece of wind, I guess, of the whirlwind, of like a sandstorm. Just a little breeze, it goes away.
Jack's flower, he only had one. He described it as being pink, very small and fragile, right next to him, almost beneath him, and it felt like it was seeking protection. So if you take the interpretation that the flower represents children, that to me means that Jack likely wants to have a baby girl at some point, who obviously looks up to him as a father, and who will need his protection and his guidance, or at least in his that's what he hopes for.
So Hunter's flowers, there were two of them. Both are yellow, and behind her with the horse, they're interested in what she's doing. They're always going to be there for her support, even if they're far away, or if there's like an emergency case that she has to go somewhere. They're always going to be there watching, but never afraid that she's gone.
So as I said earlier, this is a fairly common test. There are a few variations on it, but the one that we chose to use today came from a channel called Teal Swan. Up here in the cards, you can click right there and take the test for yourself if you like.
Alright, sadly we don't have a question of the day, guys, but in the link attached, go and take your own cube personality test and leave your answers in the comments below.
Let us know what you think, and again, stay tuned for our 100 subscriber special. We're going to do something a little different, as we always do.
Leave your comments more down below, whatever else you guys would like to have, other topics, and I don't know. That's it. I don't know. That's it. Well, we're on one rocks, so.
Until next time, guys.
So yeah, until
okay.
next
Until
time.
yeah, we can't talk over each other.
No. Okay.
And so, lastly, we're just going to give you some of your own time. say or do whatever you want to say or do. If you want to like show off a skill or talent that you've got, if you want to just put a message out into the world, whatever you like.
What do I have to say? I don't know. I would say be true to yourself. Follow, your gut feeling. Don't let somebody try to convince you that you're any less than. And just keep doing you. Keep doing what you feel is best, and following what you feel is right. Following whatever your path may be.
Well, just keep doing you. Do what you want. Don't let no one stop you. Have fun. I want to see some skateboarding tricks or something.
Yeah, go for it. Come on, man. Let's go.